on right now. Oh well, I can watch him later.
Yeah, see who's watching. No one's watching right now, but like whatever. Whatever. Maybe people show up. Maybe they won't. I don't know. 1,000 subs, so I figure someone show up, right?
Yeah, somebody ought to.
Yeah.
So so 1,000 subs. How long did it take you to get to 1,000 subs?
Couple years. Just under
Really?
2 years.
Just
Yeah.
how many videos?
65. Where's that noise coming from? Is that my computer? Oh, it is my computer. Holy shit. There we go. An ad was playing over the thing. Gotta read that. About 65 videos if you count live streams and quick thoughts, but in terms of actual like loudmouth videos that are actually like scripted and edited, probably a little less, like half that.
Yeah, I've been tempted to make a video about veganism just so I could incur the wrath of Vegan Gains and get a little bit more well known.
He won't give you the same wrath as he's been giving Roman Millennial because you don't give him a boner.
Yeah, that has something. That may have something to do with it. I mean, she is pretty. I get with that. Isn't she like Middle Eastern or something? I'm not sure.
Part French, and but I mean, Vegan Gains has like been really obsessing over her. The way he doesn't, and her criticism was very polite compared to what a lot of other people have given veganism and Vegan Gains in particular, and he has not been even 1/100th as on them over it, okay, as he's been on her, okay? So it is definitely, he just has a mad crazy crush on that woman.
Yeah. There's only two reasons why. It's fine. There's only two reasons why he would criticize her very harshly. Is either he has a secret crush on her, or two, she had actually a good criticism of veganism. Which I haven't seen her video. I should probably watch it. I just watched a little bit of the debate between her and Vegan Gains, and honestly, she kind of looked like she was having a rough time with him.
Yeah.
Did you see the debate?
Like, area of expertise, though, is the thing. Whereas Vegan Gains, he obsesses about this issue, and he like spends his whole life researching this. And she basically was, she's basically like a political science major. It's not like her area of expertise, so I guess that's kind of expected. I don't even really care about the issue of veganism or not. I mean, because I have nothing against veganism. I got vegan friends. I just think the guy was fucking insane to like do some of the shit he did, dressing up as her and like blowing that cucumber thing.
Ugh.
What the flying? What the mother of fuck was that all about?
Oh, Onision's also done similar things. He I don't know, he's done some videos where he's actually made some of these claims of how vegans should be more acceptable than meat eaters. It's a little hard to describe, but his logic been on the idea of vegans or just omnivorous human beings in general just comes off as what? I don't get the guy.
And another thing is what he uses. He tries to use this graph in order to prove that humans are naturally herbivores. But ironically, there was a woman called the Vegan Biologist who actually had some intellectual honesty and pointed out, no, humans are not natural herbivores. We are omnivores. I'm not saying I don't disagree with veganism. I am a vegan, but we are naturally omnivores. It's just finally took a vegan with some intellectual honesty to finally point out, yes, we are omnivores. Because if you look at herbivores, they have cows have like 3 stomachs, and not only that, after it goes into their stomach, they have to spit it up, chew it, their cud, and then it has to go back down and go through a hole. They spend their entire day eating. That is all they do. Nothing else other than run from predators if they have to.
Right, because meat. Well, the thing about grass, it is very little nutritional value, and thus, in order for a large animal to sustain its bulk, it really does have to eat constantly in order to do so. Whereas meat has far more nutrition, so a predator only needs to like make 1 kill a day. and eat up quickly. It's a much more efficient source of meat. They say that was important to the development of larger brains in humans.
Yeah.
Larger brains are actually very calorie intensive. Not a problem in today's world where everyone can buy a box full of candy bars, but back in the day. Oh,
Somebody
speaks entered. Entered. Hey, S-Man, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good to hear. I don't know if you're familiar with S-Man Speaks. He's got kind of a smaller channel, but he puts out like a lot of videos, like kind of similar topics that I do sometimes, like attacking social justice and stuff. And it's some pretty good stuff. So I was happy.
Thanks, man.
Him aboard. Yeah.
We were just talking about veganism.
We're vegan.
Oh God.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, I've been thinking about that topic for about since Barry made his response to this one vegan, and then Vegan Gains made a response.
Oh, yeah.
Vegan splaining.
Vegan splaining.
Yes, and then he blew a cucumber. I had to throw that in there in my little, because here's the thing. I was considering making an entire video response to that to that video he made calling him an asshole, but I don't know. I didn't want anyone accusing me of white knighting, roaming millennial, something like fuck it. But I still wanted to throw in that little pot shot just because fuck that guy. Okay, so I wanted to throw that little pot shot in there anyway.
I'll never get that out of my head ever. That is burned into my brain, and he looked like he enjoyed that just a little too much.
Yeah, that he did.
Like,
yes, he did.
His wife, it's like, I'm surprised she didn't hear that. Like, I don't know why, but ever since then, every time they speak to one another, she just seems a little ashamed of him.
It is really disturbing to me that guy is married, okay? I know his wife is not a good-looking woman, but holy motherfucker, can you imagine living with that guy? I mean,
His wife's a 6 at best.
But I mean,
But still,
I wouldn't even go that far, but the thing is, though, could you imagine living with that guy with his fits of rage? Just, I hate babies! Man, my God, the guy's in... look, I'd be, like, scared every day coming home. But
triggered gains.
Triggered gains, yeah.
Hashtag vegan splaining. It's actually a thing on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Vegan splaining?
Yeah.
But even before that, I hated that guy because there's this one. Did a lot of research on testicular cancer, and I remember reading about him making fun of Furious Pete for getting testicular cancer, and that pissed me off so much.
He thought he deserved it because he eats a lot of meat, and meat, frankly, causes cancer. Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
I personally, I don't make fun of people with, like, if they have cancer, I'm not gonna make fun of that. It's like that's going a little too far. Like, it's like okay.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, it's like, come on. It's like, if like one of you guys had cancer, and I don't know you guys, I'm familiar with Loudmouth here, but I wouldn't make fun of either of you if I didn't like any of you guys. I wouldn't make fun of your cancer or whatever that may be. I think Vegan Gaines tried to clarify that he was going with some logical consistency, that he saying that Furious Pete wants people to feel bad for him, and because of that, if you want people to feel bad for you, then how come you didn't give the same treatment to animals? And it's like...
I just think it's illogical for him to instantly assume that the reason he got cancer was because he ate meat. Okay? Because that makes no sense to me, because there's many different reasons people get cancer. It's mostly genetic, actually.
Well,
but
read about testicular cancer. Yeah, really, it's entirely genetic, and all the factors that lead to it have absolutely nothing to do with eating meat or diet. Actually, many of the healthiest people, like athletes, will get the disease. Lance Armstrong is a good example. He was 25, competing in marathons and bike marathons, and all of a sudden, his left ball tried to kill him. All right, that just happens at random. There's a few factors. One is having what's known as an undescended testicle. If you're born with one of those, you're 10 times more likely to get the disease at some point in your life. And white people get it more than black people do.
You know, I just realized something. if Vegan Gains was fucking as much as he says the word fucking, he would actually need that vasectomy for a reason after all.
Wow.
Given that he supposedly hates babies, it is such a good thing that guy got a vasectomy. All right.
He acts like a baby.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And
So isn't
yet
that self-hatred?
Yet he has how many times more subscribers than I got? 290 times more than me, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really know if everything he's doing is just satire or jokes or it's real.
No, he's really
Yeah. Because it's like, he claims satire for everything. It's like, okay, dude, maybe when he would... Like, I can't find the original video, but there was a video with him one time where he said the only use he could see out of someone is cutting their skin off and turning it into a wallet, and he's all, like, getting up close and personal with the camera, and he's waving a weapon around, and it's like, Jesus, dude, calm your tits. Like, his face was so red, and it's like, with him, it's hard to tell whether that's his natural skin color or just him being triggered.
Did he really, I think, didn't he threaten Mr. Repsion?
Oh, and yeah.
Threatened to cut Mr. Repsion's throat for calling him a sociopath.
I bought. Yeah.
Proved him wrong there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
Fuck.
Keep going. Keep going.
Apparently, according to Vegan Gains, because apparently Mr. Repsion may have been filing some BS copyright claims, and he almost lost his channel for it. Mr. Vegan Gains, he was pissed off on a Twitch stream with like 30 people watching, and he said that Mr. Repsion was a little bitch, and he wanted to just take a weapon and cut his throat with it. And it's like, okay, that was not only a stupid thing to do, because it's like you had people watching, they could easily record that stream, and it's like, what did you expect when people gave you shit over it? And it's like, dude, if you don't want people taking you out of context, then don't make clips that are easy to take out of context. It's almost like he wants people to take it out of context.
Why can't he just be like the vegan from the Needle Drop? Anthony Fantano, what is his name? What is it? Anthony Fantano?
I've never seen a Needle Drop.
Oh, it's another YouTube channel. But anyway,
you know, I invited that Modern Medusa chick I did that one chat with last week. I invited her on the stream. She seemed she said she'll probably be late, but she said she might drop by. So, well, the stream won't be quite the sausage fest it is now.
Did you just assume my gender?
Yes, I assume your fucking gender.
I'm triggered.
I'm triggered.
Here's a question for you, Loudmouth. On a ratio, what would be the ratio of male and females that watch your channel?
I fucking fine now. You probably more dudes or I don't know. Well, I do show my face in my videos to try to attract that more female demographic. But I really don't know. Actually, I know I have female fans. I know I invited a few on. So, but who shows up is who shows up, you know.
Let me just look at my stats real fast. They have an app for that, actually. You can actually download it. And do you have an iPhone or?
Yeah, I have an iPhone. I don't even give a shit, to be honest. I really don't.
Yeesh, I just got over 1,000 minutes in watch time. Lucky me. Anyway.
Because of that white YouTuber?
Yeah, I actually am. He was like one of the first YouTubers I actually asked if I could do a stream with, and he actually said yes. It took a little while, but he eventually let me on a stream one time, and I sang for everybody, and I made a lot of quick friends.
I'm gonna invite him on this stream. He probably won't show up, but I'm gonna invite him right now just for see if he will. Or you know that I'm gonna do that right now. Actually,
naturally.
I've gotten to be on 2 live streams. They were both debates, actually, but it was still fun.
Debates about what?
The death penalty in one, and sort of listed topics on another. Didn't mean to do that.
Oh yeah, I just invited the white YouTuber aboard. I don't know. He probably won't show up. He's probably busy with shit, but I whatever.
He said he was very busy because he had 4 or 5 collabs this week, is what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. But assuming he's not, whatever, you know, no, it can't hurt.
Yeah, it can't hurt. Have you ever actually been on a stream with a white YouTuber?
Once, but I couldn't get my sound was fucked up that day, so I couldn't even hear him. I was trying to fix the sound the whole time. I corrected all the audio issues I've had since then. My software was all jacked up. I had to download some patches to fix it.
Yeah, that sounds.
He still talked with me in the chat box, and I said a few things, but it was cool.
Yeah. I've seen you loudmouth in the chat of some of my live streams, and honestly, I never laughed that much in a live stream about when you were bringing up vegan gains. It's like I've considered maybe going vegan, but it's almost like some of the vegans when they go vegan, I don't know if that's not a coincidence or not, but they just get so pissed off when someone says something they don't like about veganism. And it's like, you know, if you don't agree with someone, that's cool, but, geez, maybe the vegetables are going to his head.
Yeah, I think actually there was a cohort from Australia that did like 15,000 women. A percentage of them were not vegetarians and another percentage were vegetarians. You know what they found about the women who were vegetarians? What? They found that they had a higher rate of mental disease and that they also had really bad menstrual cramps, anemia, a whole bunch. Although there's a difference between correlation and causation. I'm not saying the veganism is causing them to go mentally ill. Maybe they're mentally ill in the first place. Maybe
by far the sexiest woman I ever slept with was herself a vegetarian, and I guess that would explain why she was willing to sleep with me. Though I guess that explains it right there.
Are you vegetarian?
No, that was a bit of self-deprecating humor with me.
Honestly,
it is true that she was, but I'm saying that explains why she slept with me, because the vegetarianism affected her brain. You know?
Oh,
Trying to make it. I guess that joke.
Oh, she was more willing to, you know.
I tell usually more offensive jokes, and usually that gets maybe some people pissed at me. But
not an offensive joke. I don't give a shit.
All right. Here's one.
Okay.
How did Princess Diana cross the road? She didn't wear a seatbelt.
Ooh, actually, I got a joke too. Here's one. A man goes to the doctor. The doctor asks the man, "Do you?" No, sorry. I screwed that up. Let me restart. A man goes to the doctor. The doctor tells him, "Sir, you have Alzheimer's and you have cancer." And the man goes, "Whew! Thank God I don't have cancer." Was that a good one?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh God.
I'm going to hell, aren't I?
Yeah.
How do you turn a fruit into a vegetable?
Oh.
I don't
AIDS.
know.
no.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Okay. That no. That not no.
Yeah, I've told far worse, but that one I felt just a little bad for.
Actually, I've got one more. This one's a little long, but it's really good. Okay, a man and his wife are sitting in a doctor's office because the man's mother-in-law had just suffered a stroke. They're sitting there, and all of a sudden the doctor walks in and goes, "Listen, she survived, but I have good news and I have bad news." And the man goes, "Okay, what is the bad news?" And he goes, "Well, she's been paralyzed from the neck down. You're going to have to feed her. You're going to have to change her. She can't talk. The only noise she can make is this horrible screeching sound, and you're going to have to take care of her for the rest of her natural born life." And the man goes, "Oh my gosh, this is terrible." And then he goes, "What could possibly be the good news?" And the doctor goes, "I'm fucking with you. She's dead."
Oh God, I'm terrible.
Family Guy. That was from Family Guy.
Really, it was. I don't watch the show enough to hear that.
That was from Family Guy.
You know, Family Guy has really lost a lot of its luster these days, to be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of it goes for just offensive shock value, which does not make something funny. It really does.
What about South Park?
South Park actually
is like a master.
South Park is much funnier. They come up with some really clever stuff, and they're a lot less mean-spirited than Family Guy is. Family Guy gets very mean-spirited at times.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind cruelty in films or television as long as it amounts to something, but most of the cruelty can just amount to nothing in Family Guy.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing about Family Guy. It's cruelty for no reason. Like there's this one that really pissed me off that I thought went a little far. Was this one called Terry Schiavo the Musical? That one really pissed me off because it was just very mean-spirited bit of comedy. And what's ironic is South Park. People always talk about offensive jokes that it's about too soon. Comedy is a tragedy plus time, but actually South Park did a Terry Schiavo episode in the middle of that controversy, and in the end, it's far more tasteful than Family Guy's was 5 years later. Whereas
I'm gonna look up Terry Schiavo.
Yeah, because
that's too close to Shives.
You don't remember back in 2005? It was a big controversy.
The Terry Schiavo case was a right to die legal case in the United States from involving Theresa Mary, a woman in a irreversible persistent vegetative state. So she was basically brain dead. Correct. And I guess he was asked.
Debate, okay. Well, South Park did an episode immediately after where they have Kenny get run over by a truck, and then they're like, Kenny can't hear you. He's in what's known as a persistent vegetative state. Your son is alive, but only just. And it was clearly referencing that. It was right in the middle of that debate. And it actually did make a...
It's also worth mentioning. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the Terry Schiavo thing. It's also worth mentioning that was from an episode that treated sexual harassment to an extremely tasteless degree.
Right.
And I think it will never make up from. I mean, Carrie Fisher deserves far better than that because she was. You might remember she was the voice of Peter's boss in Family Guy.
Was she?
No. I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah, it really is a shame that she had to star in something as trashy as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was I saying? Let me go on. In the end of the episode, okay, they find out what would Kenny have wanted if he had been put in a persistent vegetative state, and it says, "For the love of Christ, don't put me on television." That's actually a brilliant point. You made a brilliant point about that controversy right there. So actually, it's quite. It actually managed to take it on in its usual South Park offensive way. Crude way, yet at the same time make a very intelligent point about the right to die controversy. South Park managed to do that, okay? Whereas Family Guy took on that same controversy, and theirs was just nasty, mean-spirited, and hateful, and I absolutely was disgusted with it. It's like, it just had these kids singing Terry Schiavo the Musical. They're like, Terry Schiavo is kind of alive. And just kind of cool.
Oh, dear. It's like I remember Gilbert Gottfried said a 9/11 joke just a few weeks during the roast of Hugh Hefner.
Right.
Yeah, that was.
And that's how he got fired actually from Aflac. He was the voice of the Aflac.
No, that's not how he got.
No, that was a tsunami. That was the tsunami jokes.
Japanese tsunami.
Yeah, you're right. He said that. All right, in Japan, so advanced that you don't need to go to the beach. The beach comes to you. All right. and
I also
for that
keep going.
For that, he was fired as the spokesduck of Aflac because Aflac does about half their business in Japan.
Actually, it wasn't just one joke. It was a whole line of tweets. Actually, a whole line of jokes.
Yeah, that's tasteless.
Yeah.
That did kill 15,000 people.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I've heard. Yeah. I mean, people have made Holocaust jokes, and about 6 to 11 million people died in that, and
yeah.
And where I live, people make those type of jokes all the time, and it's like at first I never really found sense of humor to be all that funny. And then I actually got a sense of humor. But then again, what we find funny is subjective. And the one thing I don't like about Family Guy is it used to actually be funny, like you guys have said. It used to have some point to it, and it used to be just completely mostly original stuff. They wouldn't have to bring up all these brand names to try to sound like we're in the real world. And I used to be a pretty big Family Guy fan until like about 2015, because I just all the episodes, I don't know why, they just seem somewhat repetitive, and it's like I just lost interest in it. And that's sometimes the problem with some shows. It's like they just lose their luster. Like they've been on the air since 1998. They've gone off at some points, but at some point it's like it just loses the luster. And some shows they can get it back, but I don't know about Family Guy.
Oh, by the way, did any of you guys, not to change the subject too fast, but any of you see that clip from the Veritas project of CNN, of the CNN people?
Veritas? Nothing.
I haven't seen it.
The Veritas, no, not, it was a, never mind. I changed the subject too fast. Anyway, back to Family Guy. Yeah, I saw I've seen a few Family Guy episodes, but not that many in my life.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
have to admit, one of the most tasteless jokes that Family Guy has made was from an episode called "Brian's a Bad Father," where Peter is he's trying to manipulate Quagmire into trying to forgive him because, well, for some reason he just shot Quagmire in the arm with a gun for no apparent reason, and trying to make amends with Quagmire just by trying to force sympathy. He goes up to Lois and with a knife in his hand, he says, "Hey Lois, if I was going to kill myself, would I slit my wrist this way or that way? Sideways for attention, long ways for results. Makes right, Peter. Oh, thanks. I'll be in the garage." That's not funny.
Fuck them for making that joke. That was really fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm so bad about it.
There's a line you gotta not cross, and giving people accurate suicide advice.
Yeah, it's like
very funny.
it's like I have a sense of humor, but it's like I don't think giving the suicide advice. It's like I wouldn't want. It's like that is accurate advice, and I wouldn't want to have to put on a show and have people hear that. And it's like, what if someone actually is like wanting to kill themselves, and they're like, oh, that's how you do it. Okay.
But there's a recent controversy. You know David Sherrod of Alternative Facts, who used to be Spino.
Yeah.
Source. Yeah, I had him on my channel, and he was the result of a really, really vile prank. Where someone posted his picture and with the caption, "My brother, mentally retarded, is missing during that London attack," and that they're worried about him. All right, like I thought, really crossed the line of good humor, because emergency services check social media. Okay, so that could have actually gotten some. If emergency services were checking on false leads just because you wanted to do your dumbass joke, you could get someone killed that way. So I was just like, that was fucked up. And like a couple was V retweeted it. Fuck him. Yeah, I never liked that guy.
I don't know much about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long would you say after a tragedy? How long you should wait before you're allowed to tell jokes about it? Because you're not allowed to tell jokes about Hiroshima. I say at least wait, maybe depending on the severity. If it's like something on the scale of 9/11, I'd say at least few years.
What I always say is whether the joke targets the perpetrators or targets the victim is the main thing that I look for, not the time scale. Like when it comes to 9/11 jokes, if the butt of the joke is the terrorists, fine, all right, I'll laugh. But if you're like mocking the victims for being dead, that still ain't okay for me. That's not really.
Yeah, I mean
that's been my line for humor. All right, you got to not try to cause pain on someone who's grieving. You just do that.
I also cross the line. I also think the line should be personally for me, dead baby jokes. Like I know someone who she was supposed to have twins and unfortunately miscarried, and she's telling me this. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I could really ever tell dead baby jokes, especially it's like, imagine the person you tell that to, what if their kid died? That would probably get you punched in the face. Maybe not. I don't want to cross that line.
And you'd probably deserve it.
Yeah.
there sort of has to be a basis of severity, and when it comes to the trauma of each individual, or maybe I don't know if that makes sense or not.
It kind of,
I don't know.
it makes sense.
I don't know if this
Go
would
ahead.
be an argument. I don't know if this would be an argument, but a lot of people would say that comedy helps people get over tragic situations. That's why you see some of one of the darkest civilizations in the world make jokes about stuff like I remember in South Africa during the apartheid situation back in the 80s and stuff. The one of the big pastors, Tutu, I think his name was something Tutu, but he was from South Africa. Anyway, he has an incredible sense of humor. So does the Dalai Lama, and you can't think of a guy who's gone through much worse than that.
I guess.
It just went silent.
Okay. Not trying to change the topic, but just out of curiosity, what are your guys' thoughts on the ethics of punching Nazis? I'm personally against it because it's against the law, and if you have to resort to violence instead of being able to logically destroy someone, in my opinion, it makes that person who punches the other person the bigger bitch. It's almost
I completely agree.
I just
go ahead.
I just avoid them at all costs.
Yeah, and the problem is people throw the words around like, and they're just buzzwords today. We've lowered the standards of what actually constitutes the words, what would be under the definition. For example, people throw the words racist, sexist, misogynist, white supremacist, what have you. They throw them around so much.
You butchered the word harassment. You fart within 100 feet of her, and you're a sexual harasser. According to Nina Sarkeesian.
Hey.
Good evening.
Hey, man.
Good day.
And the problem with Steve Shives is he's butchered the word misogynist.
Oh yeah. That's why I took. Why I
it has no more meaning anymore.
That video, man.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Videos.
The problem with accusing someone of being a racist today is people have lowered the standard of what it actually is. And another weird thing is people think that only white people could be racist, or they say that if you call someone a racial slur, that's an act of violence. It's like, okay, so if cracker, can I punch you? But then those same people say, no, you can't be racist to white people.
You can't be racist to white people.
That is true.
I don't even know.
As all fuck to white people.
Racist, period.
I don't even know what cracker means.
Some people.
It comes from slavery, the crack of a whip. Cracker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's where the racial slur referring to white people as crackers came from.
You know, they do know that a lot of them, slave owners, were black themselves, right?
They were. Yes, they were. A lot of them were.
And Native Americans.
Yes.
One weird thing.
No matter what color you are, they have been assholes to each other throughout history.
Yeah, and one weird thing is,
That's true.
there was this one guy I had a debate with a couple months back. He thought he literally believed that number one, black people can be racist, which is false. And I asked him if he could refute the dictionary definition of racism. He couldn't. And another thing was, he said that racial slurs are an act of violence, and we can feel what our ancestors went through, and it's like, no, we can't. And he thinks reparations is a good thing. He's all like, reparations are important, and I'm like, if I found out that one of my relatives enslaved people, I wouldn't give a shit, because that was 150 years ago, and I got more important things to worry about than the past.
Yeah, actually, my mom did Ancestry.com and found out that some of our early ancestors were Dutch from the 1600s who actually had some house servants which were technically slaves. But I don't really care, to be honest with you. They're people from 400 years ago. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, ancestor shaming is becoming more and more of a thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, shall I change subject?
Sure, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Pardon?
So how you guys doing tonight?
We're doing really good.
I'm doing all right.
That's good.
Got a new job.
That's good.
Always good.
I'm glad for you. I'm still waiting to get my job.
Hey, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Hey, Loudmouth, did you ever watch that link I posted to you about a week or so ago?
Which one?
The one with the Eric Carl stories.
Oh shit! I must have forgotten about that one. Sometimes I'll see one. I'm like, I'll watch it later in bit, and then I'll forget them.
Did you
Believe
that happens, you know?
did you ever get the time to look at the links I sent you? The movie ideas that I typed it on DeviantArt so that I can get your opinion and what you think.
In a Twitter DM, because then they'll save. I accidentally deleted them before I had time to see them. But if send them in a Twitter DM, then they'll be saved, and I can always check back the Twitter DM if I ever delete. That's the best way to do it. Not in the Hangout chat, because that'll be gone as soon as this Hangout's over.
Yeah.
How many people are watching now?
4.
5 people.
Okay. All right. I'm checking out the chat.
He's in the chat. I invited him on the stream. I don't know if he's going to show up. I did a live stream on his channel over the weekend. Have you ever watched him? He's a pretty good guy. He's got like 3,700 subs.
Yeah, he's pretty entertaining.
Who?
I like that guy.
Hayes.
Oh yeah, I saw that live stream you did with them.
Yeah.
Hey, Loudmouth.
Bullshitted, you know.
Hey, Loudmouth. When the stream's over, would it be all right with you if I like mirror this on my channel? Like, give you credit, of course.
Sure, absolutely. Just link.
All right.
And you can all call me Jim. My name's Jim. All right.
Well,
all right.
Well,
hi, Jim.
Jim, if you ever do get the chance to watch that the Eric Carl anthology, you will not be disappointed. Even for something that's over 24 years old, it still holds up to this day. It's an amazing anthology.
I'll try to check it out, definitely. Yeah. All right.
One movie review I'd love to see you do, Jim, is any of the Die Hard movies. I just got to watch a couple months back, like around Christmas time, and I liked it so far.
Thing is,
love the Die Hard movie.
Bad movie. Die Hard is one of my favorite movies.
Cool, that's one of mine too.
I fucking love Die Hard. I mean, Die Hard 5 was kind of bad. Maybe I could do that one.
No, don't bring on me.
Most recent Terminator movie.
Awesome.
Hey, what is the worst movie? What is the worst movie all you guys have ever seen?
That's a bit of a tough one. I mean, I've only seen so many movies. I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot worse movies I'll see. So I really can't give a statement to that.
The worst movie ever made. I did a review back in January. Loudmouth Reviews in all caps. The worst movie ever made. You'll find out my answer there.
Which was movie 43.
Movie 43.
Oh my God! Don't get me started on movie 43.
Movie 43 is cancer.
Love about that. I love what you did with the Lord of the Rings parody on movie 43. That opening is so accurate. It's so freaking accurate.
It has 4% on Rotten Tomatoes, so you know it's bad.
My favorite movie ever. I'm torn on.
That is very interesting. The movie 43 is a 4% Rotten Tomato score because a study in the Journal of Medicine found that roughly 4% of film critics are in fact retarded.
Wow.
Special needs individuals have taken to becoming film critics. And
have you ever considered doing a review on Tropic Thunder?
No, because I love Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder is awesome.
My favorite movie is The American Sniper.
I know you're busy. But perhaps you should review Hope Floats. That's one of the worst chick flicks I've ever seen in my life.
I need to watch that one. I've never seen it.
I saw it on Netflix, and I thought it was pretty good.
You know, it's a shame. Mae Whitman plays as one of the most hateful characters in that movie. And if you don't know, Mae Whitman would play Katara in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Really? She is a good actress, but damn, her character was just insufferable in that movie.
Well, I thought she was pretty terrible in The Last Airbender. I don't know.
No, I mean
that one.
No, I mean I don't mean the movie The Last Airbender. She played as Katara in the TV series. Yes.
Oh, I love the cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah, May Women is phenomenal in that series, but man, she was just insufferable in Hope Floats. She's the kind of pretty girl I just want to smack across the face.
Yeah, that is one
Toxic
of the
masculinity,
turn-off
I'm kidding.
moments
that was in Toxic Masculinity.
Well, she was a kid. She was a new kid. She was a new kid back then. So
She was. Oh yeah, she was also the president's daughter in Independence Day.
Oh, was she?
I did not know
Yeah.
that.
Hunter.
Yeah, they didn't bring her back for the
See on
sequel.
a little
though.
bit.
They recast that character in the sequel.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
What's your guys' favorite movie? Mine is American Sniper.
Mine is The Grapes of Wrath.
Okay.
The
I
Dark
have a
300?
lot of favorite
My
movies.
favorite movie is The Dark Knight.
Ooh,
Really?
Dark Knight is also my fave. I love that.
That is a fun.
And The Interview.
That is really The Interview.
I
Yeah,
have a hard time finding a favorite, but I kind of like the movie 300.
I love 300.
Yeah,
That is a
I
good
did a review on 300. I mean, you should watch it. It's different than my other reviews because it was a
This is
collaboration I did with this history channel that I know. This guy I know does a history channel. I collabed with him and we talk about the history of the Spartans and the movie's accuracy.
I found your video that you're talking about. Loudmouth reviews the worst movie ever made, and the thumbnail looks accurate as fuck.
Fuck
What?
that movie.
Yeah, it does.
What the thought of 300, admittedly, it is historical fiction, but when it comes to a movie, like what crosses the line from being historically inaccurate to historically insulting?
I don't know. I love that. I like 300. I think it's
Yeah.
I just think it kicks all kinds of ass. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you can some kinds of ass too.
Sparta, okay, and I like the stereotype it promotes that Spartan men are a bunch of awesome sex gods. Okay, I want that stereotype to spread throughout all society.
Yeah.
I'd say
My family ancestry takes place in Sparta and in Athens, Greece, considering how my grandpa is Greek.
Now they're Greek on the stream, awesome.
I'd say some historically insulting movies would be Patch Adams, Pearl Harbor, Legend of the Titanic, and I don't know.
Legend of the Titanic. Oh my god, I saw Doug Walker's review of that movie. Holy fuck, it pissed me off. Like, and I actually saw it for free online. It was
I
insane.
think that new Transformers movie, The Last Night, is incredibly inaccurate. Thank God I didn't see that movie.
Michael Bay needs to. All right, everyone who goes to see a Michael Bay movie shouldn't breed because after how shitty the last 4 Transformers movies are, you're gonna see another one of these by the same director. What the fuck is wrong with you? Give me the money. I can put it in my Patreon. God damn it! God awful fucking
Michael
movie.
Bay just went full retard, man.
You never go full retard.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
You never go full retard.
The best fucking spoof of Michael Bay's Transformers, Robot Chicken did it. Okay, it has Optimus Prime giving the Allspark to Sam. Okay, and he says, "Careful, Sam. If Megatron gets the Allspark, he will rule the entire universe." or it might kill him, and then possibly raise him from the dead. Frankly, Sam, I don't know what the fucking Allspark does. I'm like, holy fuck, because it's so true. The entire plot of the first movie revolves around trying to keep the Allspark away from Megatron, and at the end of the movie, they give it to Megatron and it kills them. And then the second movie, Megatron is brought back from the dead, which starts the very same thing that the first movie killed him. Who the fuck wrote this? This is garbage.
Sounds like they're just trying
watching. We got 6 people watching. I'll monitor the chat. Go on.
That's great.
Yeah. Hey, does anybody has anybody heard of the movie? This old movie from the 1970s. It was a cowboy. It was a country, western parody. It was called something.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles.
I love that one.
Yes.
It's on Netflix.
It is.
Until the 1st of July. Oh, man.
Mungo only pawn in the game of life.
If you have Netflix, you should check it out before it leaves. Now that is a true comedy classic.
Yeah, Mel Brooks. Yeah, he was great. He came up with some funny.
Very brilliant.
You're doing the French mistake.
Yeah.
This is something. This is something that the Ridiculous Six could have been.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck that movie.
Yeah.
But,
You know, Blazing Saddles is one of those movies you could not make today. Yeah.
yeah, that is true. It uses its racism to poke fun of societal norms and people's idiosyncrasy, as what Loudmouth said about Seinfeld. What made it works?
Yeah.
It was those traits and those observations. Hey, bro, what's up? Just do some weights.
Hey, Jim, if you haven't heard, Trey Parker is in the new Despicable Me movie. What do you have to say about that?
Been on live with a YouTuber.
Oh.
So
How'd you guys find Jim's channel?
I found his channel through typing in Alien vs. Predator Requiem rant, and I saw the 30-minute rant he did on AVPR, and I agree with most of the things he says on it. Yeah.
I came across your channel when I saw your review of Norm the North, and then it just kind of escalated from there. Then I saw your review of That's My Boy, and then I saw your review of Movie 43, and I just decided to subscribe to you because I like your content.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
What's that noise?
It's my brother getting the door, and he's just lifting little weights.
Ah.
I found Jim's channel because he commented on one of my videos about the whole Bearing channel takedown thing. And I was like checking out his channel. I was like, this is some pretty interesting stuff. So I was like, I'll subscribe. And then he commented on some of my stuff. And I was like, okay. And I'm going to...
Speaking of which, Blazing Saddles did influence a few other films that kind of followed what it did that. I know...
I'm actually gonna have to go, guys. I gotta go somewhere. So,
and
right, bye.
I'll see ya.
Have a good night, guys.
Yep, have a go.
Okay, this is the only ones I do. And of course, my movie idea.
Okay, I'm getting a little dead. What's in the top news right now? See,
Alex Mauer.
Huh?
Have you heard of Alex Mauer?
I never heard of that guy before in my life.
It's not a he, it's a she.
It's a she?
She's a composer. She's a composer who has been filing all these DMCA takedowns and even issuing death threats on people who are using her music that she composed for games she worked on, even though that was under license contract between her and the developers. But no, she's just going on a full crazy psycho takedown. And get this, so the company has hired a lawyer, and in one single day they raised over $11,000 to help support the lawsuit. Damn,
That's horrible.
yeah.
I'm looking at the news right now. It says it is not normal. Both sides condemn Trump for vulgar tweet about TV host.
Yes, I actually retweeted that and it said it was disgraceful. But I mean, fuck him.
What did he say? What did he say?
Let me pull it up.
I hate Trump.
I do too.
Eh.
And
I had to-
Everybody hates Trump.
I hate Trump. Well,
I only voted for him because I thought he was the lesser of two evils.
Trump kind of hits home for me sometimes. I just don't care for the guy.
Let's say, Tomorrow, 3 nights in a row around New Year's Eve, insisted on joining me. She was bleeding badly from a facelift. I said no. What an asshole. That's a classless thing to say. You're the fucking president of the United States. Show some goddamn class.
Holy
How
crap.
do you feel No, wait. Scratch that. What do you think of a movie idea that I have that is an idea for an R-rated animated movie that I would consider to be the Shrek of horror movies?
Shrek of horror movies. Sounds funny. Pitch it to someone with money to make it, because I don't got it.
Yep.
Let's just hope it doesn't go Seltzer and Freeberg. Or
No, of course not. No, it's not gonna go.
I'm thinking of reviewing Meet the Spartans down the road because I fucking hate Meet the Spartans.
It's not going down that road.
What films from Seltzerberg have you seen, Jim?
I've seen most of them, unfortunately.
It's definitely not Salzburg. No. It's more among the lines of following the routes of Zootopia, Shrek, Blazing Saddles, and and Wreck-It Ralph.
Hey, I heard it. You know that actually, when I saw Andy, I saw your like avatar is like Nick from Zootopia. Didn't that? I think that movie got like a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. It was a pretty good movie.
Yes, I super agree with that. So glad I love that.
Fantastic, absolutely phenomenal movie. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yes, it is.
That's right. The
way better.
The title I got for this movie is simply named Lucas Lycan.
I hope they put Zootopia in the next Kingdom Hearts game.
That'd be awesome.
How would it work?
It would be. I wonder what Sora would probably be a lion again, like he was in Kingdom Hearts 2, but instead he'd be walking on both legs.
Yep.
That'd be my guess.
From what makes my movie idea look like and phenomenal is that, like what Shrek did with fairy tales, putting fairy tale characters in everyday modern day situations. This is what my movie idea Lucas Lycan would do. Have horror movie characters living as everyday people.
Johnny.
I think Robot Chicken has done something of that manner.
Oh yes, Robot Chicken has done that.
Yeah, I know. Yep, that's true.
Hey, Loudmouth. Hey, Jim. What type of microphone do you use?
It's a blue. Bought it for like $30.
A Blue Yeti?
What is it called? Blue Snowball. Snowball. It's called Snowball.
I'm hoping to purchase one of those PlayStation headsets and instead of this one, because this belongs to my friend Mason.
Yeah, I wanted something with good sound quality so you'd be able to understand me in my videos, So I invested and bought this $30 little.
And I came up with this movie idea, Lucas Lycan, just in time, because back in 2006, I had come up with an idea for an animated movie at Disney, and this one I thought of it would be a trilogy. For Disney.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. The title of the first anime movie idea I came up with back in 2006 is called In the Jungle.
Jungle.
We bump away.
Bump away. In the jungle, the mighty jungle.
I knew you guys were gonna do that.
When I think of
okay,
I was thinking more along the lines of that book from the 20s called The Jungle. That's like a look at the meat industry in Chicago. Ever heard of that?
The first one, In the Jungle, is the story of a gorilla and his name is Timmy, and he has what was it? Oh yeah, he has he lives in a zoo, and he has nightmares about a gorilla family that he lost, but he's been in the zoo for 5 years, and he's living happily until he met a chimpanzee named Jack who wants to let him free. But when he lets him free, he what is it? Uh, and he's quite charming and fast talking guy, and he's pretty cool. But when Jack let him free, Timmy sees that the animals want him to be their savior, to stop the hunt, stop poachers from coming to Africa. And and when Timmy has no choice but to save Africa, but as the journey goes to find out how they're going to stop the poachers from extincting the animals of Africa, Timmy will come to love living and will eventually come to see who he was before he was a girl. And this is going to be a spoiler alert. Timmy would come to see that the main hunter, who was the main bad guy of the movie, named Killer Ray, he turns out to be the guy that murdered his wife and his son, and before he was about to kill him. Yep, pretty much like in Tim Burton's Batman. That's what Batman says to the Joker: "I made you, but you made me first." Mm-hmm.
Sounds clever.
Yes, I am clever.
Is there anything else you could add to it?
Add to the In the Jungle.
If you'd want to.
Well, let me see. I might come up with something. Might need to add some writers to help me with the script and the dialogue and all the other stuff. I'm just the idea man. That is what I call myself.
Yeah, it's lucky you're very creative. I'm very mildly autistic, so I have some problems with creativity, I suppose.
I'm autistic myself.
So am I.
Cool.
See this?
Welcome to the club.
Oh, really? You're autistic too?
Me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember. Oh, Loudmouth. I actually do remember you mentioning that in a tweet to the white YouTuber.
Yeah, I said he should give Aspies like me a little bit of love. That's what us Aspies need it.
Doesn't it enrage you when people use? Doesn't it enrage you when people use autistic as an insult?
It's why I always am attacking Sargon.
Yeah, but I can learn to get over it because every time someone says a nasty joke about autism, I just go whatever.
Ironically, my favorite.
Favorite.
Keep going. Sorry, my apologies.
Something like in the movie Animal House, when some guy said, "Hey man, how does it feel to be a loser?" But how does it feel to be an asshole?
See if you can guess what I am now. I'm a Zed. Get it?
I love that scene. Food fight. Oh boy.
Sometimes I wish John Belushi was still alive.
Yeah, that is.
You and me both, man. You and me both.
I wish a lot of people were still alive. I wish Adam West was still alive, but that's not how it is.
Yeah. He will always be remembered right here and there.
Carrie Fisher. So they could complete episode 9 the way they intended to. Now they can't.
Can you see the link that I sent you over there?
Yeah, but again, you gotta. It's gonna disappear as soon as this chat over, so there's really no point in putting it there, man. All right.
Oh, okay.
You gotta send it as a Twitter DM.
Okay, I'm getting to the Twitter right now.
All right, let's see.
So here's a question for you guys. What was like the first franchise you ever really obsessed over, as in, growing up?
The first franchise I ever, I'm more of a moderate casual fan when it comes to franchises of movies and shows.
Maybe I said that wrong. I should say, what was like the first franchise you ever got into? For me, the first real franchise I ever got into was Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. I adored that show as a child, and I still do today.
That's cool.
Yep, Big Bird will always be around. Elmo would be 3.5 years old for the next 50 years.
My SpongeBob.
That would be like a number 4 for me.
I saw an article on CNN that said that Elmo was visiting a refugee camp, and I tweet back, Elmo.
I sent the link on the Twitter. It's one of my movie ideas.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Great. You checking it out?
Yeah, I looked at it. Oh, let me go back to the chat. Yeah, I actually am checking it out right now. La da da da. Hello to one friends watching the video now. I want to share another great movie I got. It's in there.
Who else did I invite here? Are you familiar with that one chick, Zoda's Life? I invited her in the stream. She said if she's.
I've heard of it.
She might go.
You checking out the cast members and the animal characters I got for In the Jungle, Loudmouth?
She produces good content. She's cute as hell too.
Naked Ape.
So,
has anybody ever heard of Naked Ape?
Yes, I have heard of Naked Ape.
Never.
No? He's got 140 times more subs than I do, so of course I've heard of him.
What's that?
He's like a right-wing commentator. He's kind of has a vulgar sense of humor.
A really vulgar sense of humor, I gotta say.
Yeah.
He's
pretty out there, that guy. Definitely tries to go for shock value. Who do you? How about this question? Who do you guys think is the worst major YouTuber with more than 10,000 subs? Who's the worst one?
I don't know anybody.
Onision.
That's
who most people did. I vote because I just heard from him today. He said a copyright claim.
Are you checking out the? Are you checking out the links I sent you on the Twitter?
Yeah.
I'll do it when the chat's over. But what is it? But Onision, yeah, he sent a copyright claim to Blair White. All right, claim with a video that was a clear fair use. What's ironic is that he all right, what is it? He uses her clips in his videos, and he insults her left and right, but or him or whatever Blair White is. But all right, but apparently Blair White doesn't have a right to use his clips, according to that guy. That guy is pure scum. There's nothing else about it. He's a psychopath.
I remember watching that video where he was talking to an L figurine, the character from Death Note, and he was like, and he's like, I'm not feeling so good. Well, what can I do to make you feel better? I don't know. How about oral sex? What did you say? I'm just kidding, L. I'm just kidding. Unless you want to. Don't you dare cuss L, Onision.
Yeah. Or another guy I really hate. This other guy that's pissing me off.
Hey, I actually got something really funny to tell you all. I actually looked up the word "cuck" on the Urban Dictionary, and Onision popped up as the definition.
Fuck. And who else really pisses me off? Oh, Angry MGTOW. That guy is whacked as all fuck.
Oh yeah.
That guy scares me. Like I'm worried that if that guy don't get therapy, I'm worried he's gonna like hurt somebody. I'm really, it's scary.
He sounds like the type of guy who has bodies buried in his backyard.
He really does. That guy is like legitimately scary. Like I thought he was a Poe at first, but apparently he's not. I don't know. I still wonder if he's a Poe.
If he's just one big giant troll.
Yeah, that's what I wonder because it's really weird. I've listened to, I've seen like live streams where he like talks with women, and my God, is he rude? I have never heard anyone talk to a woman the way he does. Like he is so fucking rude. He'll like ask them, "How many dicks have you sucked?" All right. Oh my God.
Man.
Yeesh. There's a line between being a feminist and having respect for women, dude. Come on.
Yeah,
Can't
that's another thing. You make all these videos saying that everyone, like all these anti-feminists are all actually feminists. That's all he does. He'll like say Sargon is a male feminist, or Killdeer is a male feminist. All these stupid ass videos.
Let's see.
Like everyone who isn't him is a feminist, pretty much. He's the only non-feminist on Earth.
He's the pure one. He's the one pure one.
Yes, he's the only one. Everyone else is a feminist except him. Or who else is really obnoxious other than him?
Fred.
We already discussed Vegan Gains. He's definitely up there. And
The annoying orange. That one was pretty annoying.
Yeah, that was annoying as fuck.
PewDiePie.
He actually made a cartoon show based on it. My God.
You know, I think it flopped.
I like to put him in a blender and make a smoothie out of him.
Really?
What about Shane Dawson?
Don't know who that is.
You've never heard of Shane Dawson? He's one of the biggest names on YouTube. He's written like three homemade autobiographies about his life. I have mixed thoughts on his work on YouTube, but I'm sure he's a nice guy. But I don't know what to say.
What about Banana Girl, the girl that eats like 50-something bananas a day? A vegan girl. I think she's also called Vegan Hitler or something.
Vegan Hitler, like advocate death to meat eaters or something.
Yeah, she says this is actually how she said, we need to force people to become vegan. No, it should not be a choice. We need to force.
No, thank
people.
you.
No.
Yeah, just like
no. Thank you.
Force, get over it.
Yeah, how are you gonna make the Inuits go vegan? They've been living off meat for years. They actually have a special enzyme in their bodies so they can eat meat.
Really?
Tons.
And back to vegans, he's probably saying, name the fucking enzymes! Name those enzymes already! Or I'm going to be a page with 1,000 posts about demanding you name those enzymes.
Can't I just use Google? I forgot the name of the enzyme, but it's like FDA3 something. They need it.
I was joking, but like that's what like Vegan Game doing with like Romy Millennial. He kept spamming her page over and over again, demanding he name the enzymes. Like, grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Or what? Who else? Who else is really bad out there? What's another?
The Amazing Atheist.
God, don't mention him.
I don't think he's that bad. I don't really like. I don't hate him. I don't like him. I don't know.
If only I had Dane Cook doing his sneezing atheist stand up at that guy. Oh boy.
Who's that other guy's name? Crap. Sam Pepper. I think it was his name. Nobody.
Does he hope to become a tree if he goes?
Sam Pepper. Oh, Rage After Storm. Did you hear about the whole controversy with that chick? How she's like how she like made this incredibly racist video recently.
What was so racist about the video? I haven't seen it. No.
He argued that due to genetics, blacks are incapable of abstract thought.
Do the genetic? I mean, I don't know if she. Well, from the sound of it, she definitely doesn't have any sources to back up her claim. I
She
didn't,
cited her source was the Daily Stormer, a neo-Nazi website.
and I bet it was also Jared Taylor too.
Probably.
You know who Jared Taylor is, actually?
I've heard of him, kind of.
Yeah, he's actually from Japan. He's kind of like I don't know if any of you have heard of the Black Pigeon, but people from Japan have a very kind of skeptical view of cultural diversity, which I think is reasonable to an extent. But racial diversity, I think race is kind of neutral, but culture can be a problem.
It can be. She was just arguing
I'm not
science, and I know like Tyler Preston, who was subscribed to me and follows me on Twitter. Yeah, he was furious about Raiden's video, and I don't blame the guy. You know, it was very insulting.
He is black. He's black too, so I bet he would be insulted.
It was insulting. It was a very insulting video. I mean, and what's more is she handled the backlash against her in the most immature way possible. One thing, she claimed that the Daily Stormer link that she included in it wasn't a real source, that she was just trolling. And she started going on a mass blocking binge against a lot of her critics.
See what am I thinking about?
I don't know what the. So just fuck her, you know.
So she went full Steve Shives.
She went full Steve Shives in the other direction, really.
Never go full Steve Shives ever.
Never
There's
go
the
full
Doritos.
Steve. You've seen my Steve Shives parody, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
I have.
No, I'll watch it later though. It sounds
You
pretty
definitely need
interesting.
to watch that one. That's one of my best videos. I love that video.
Actually, I've heard that he doesn't actually block people himself. He actually has what we call a block bot, where it's like it blocks people who the bot considers harassment when it's actually probably just a joke or something or
He
some.
blocked me within 3 hours of me creating my Twitter account. Never tweeted anything at the guy. Nothing. And I was already blocked by the guy.
What you drinking?
It's simple as that. You follow anyone on his shit list, like big prominent anti-feminists. You follow TJ Kirk, Sargon of Akkad, Shoe on Head, Roman Millennial, what have you. You follow any of those like big names on his shit list, you're automatically blocked.
He, what you drinking?
Huh?
So,
Booze.
Oh.
Trying to get a little drunk on this stream. Is that
okay.
Hey guys, I know you guys probably hate all of them, but who do you think's the worst of the entire social justice community? Like Christy Winters and a demotivator opinion.
for sure. Sarkeesian.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on Trickly Puff?
The woman just embarrassed herself, and I used her in a video in a very negative way, and I guess I don't know if that was right, but I did. I was taking on this one conspiracy theorist, and
Make a man. What makes a man, my friend? Is it be prepared for whatever the costs may be?
what are you doing?
Yeah, sure, that and a pair of balls, I guess.
Whatever. Yeah, but I would definitely say Anita Sarkeesian is the worst of the whole social justice crowd.
Yeah, Kevin Logan's pretty bad too.
At least Kevin Logan talks to people he disagrees with. I don't get why Kevin Logan gets talked about so much. I have more subs per video than he does.
Okay, let me see something brilliant.
Really?
Really? He's got 10 times. He's got 5 times more subs than me and 10 times more videos. So yeah.
What about what's that other girl? What, not Christy Winters, but it's some other person. It's some other guy. Not crap. I completely forgot. Sean and Jen.
Sean and Jen, yeah. You got the skull?
Yeah, the skull guy.
Knocking on heaven's door. I think I'm gonna turn in for the night. I gotta get ready for orientation tomorrow.
Later, dude.
All right, you have a good
Later.
night, man.
Good
Yeah,
night.
thanks for dropping by.
Of course.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I can offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love.
Hey,
That's a lovely, lovely voice.
there's a lovely voice.
Yeah, I'm actually
Dang.
going to an opera program this next month, next Wednesday.
Who do I like the most of the social justice crowd is being asked to make? I don't know.
That's right.
I would say
Well, you
AD
said
Motivator Opinion because at least he's willing to talk to other people.
Yeah, I'll say that too. Anyone who's willing to talk to the other side in the debate is okay with
You
me.
heard me say
His wife's like Shive that
someone I really could care for, and then suddenly appeared before me. The only one my arms would ever
What are you doing, Andy?
hold.
Andy.
Andy!
What are you doing?
Yes.
Please
Blue
stop
Moon.
singing. Please stop that.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're having a discussion. Okay.
I forgot what we were talking about. Can you remind me, please?
The best. I was saying that in terms of like SJWs, it's just pretty much anyone who I think anyone who's willing to listen and talk to you without like degrading you or accusing you of harassment is okay with me. That's just the way I look at it.
Yeah, they're SJ. I like people who are actually willing to talk. Like Lacey Green. Lacey Green went through a massive shift. I mean, I don't think she changed many of her views. She's just now like, you know what? I'm willing to talk now. She's dating Chris Ray Gun, and guess she.
If I had Chris Ray Gun's level of subs, I'm sure I could do a lot better than Lacey Green. Okay, come on.
And she's pretty. I think she's pretty.
Oh boy.
She's okay. I mean, the average YouTube anti-feminist chicks, they're all way hotter than Lacey Green.
Oh, the anti-feminist girls?
Yes, they are all hotter than Lacey Green, almost all of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's been a lot of jokes made about how only ugly women are feminists.
I don't agree with that.
What'd you say?
There's a lot of jokes made about how only ugly women are feminists.
It's not always true, but it is true a lot of the time. It really is very often true that women who oppose feminism are better looking than feminist women are.
Yeah,
this is flashing me back to that conversation in the movie American Psycho.
And why is that?
The part when they were talking about girls, there are no girls with no good personalities, can't be. And then it leads to Christian Bale talking about what Ed Gein said about women and all that stuff. Pretty and stuff.
And what tends to be true a lot of those actual male feminist guys is that a lot of them tend to be hypocrites. Like, you remember that whole thing with the what was it called? What was his name again? The Russian dude, Russian Deadpool.
Yeah, his real name's Alexander. And oh my God, that situation is all kinds of fucked up. Jesus.
Yeah.
Christ.
I heard that he was actually. I heard that he actually was on like shrooms, and that he killed his girlfriend because he thought she was like that for some odd reason. And that really I may be libertarian, and I do believe that that people have a right to do what they want with their bodies, but that really makes me skeptical that all drugs should be legal. Like, there's some drugs that really do put other people's lives at risk, like hallucinogens, like PCP, and all those extreme things can cause people to go crazy and kill others.
No, actually,
so I think
that's not true. They say they had evidence of premeditation in that murder.
Really?
Really, they're charging him with first-degree murder. Yeah.
Man, yeah, damn, that's rough.
The guy was just a true psychopath, man. Nothing else to it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Russians. That kind of reminds me. Did you ever any of you see that video of that Russian TV show where they're all where they all have their hands on a car and they all gotta wait till the car is and the last one holding onto the car wins. This woman was like flicking her high heel at this one guy, and he eventually had it and he grabbed her, threw her on the ground, and broke her nose. You don't remember a video like that?
No.
No. Well, it was pretty bad.
That sounds pretty bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other. Have you ever heard of Steven Crowder?
I've heard of Steven Crowder. Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, he's a conservative comedian and commentator on his show Louder with Crowder. I like his content.
He does too much work in drag. I saw this one sketch where he made fun of the Young Turks pretending to be both Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian. And I love that he didn't even bother to shave when he was playing Anna Kasparian. You could see his chest hair while he's in drag.
That was pretty funny, yeah. Did you see where he actually went to the Women's March dressed up in a transgender disguise and actually was able to talk to Wendy Davis?
No, I didn't know that.
You have to watch it. He actually goes to the Women's March. It has over 1 million views. He goes, that giant protest the day after Trump.
I was familiar with the Women's March. The one where one of the signs said, we have to pay for our own birth control, you have to pay for your own razors. As if I don't pay for my own goddamn razors.
It's here. We all pay for our razors, yeah. These are people who want to abort. That they don't want, like Hillary Clinton said a few years ago when she said actually something that made sense. When she says abortion should be safe, legal, and rare. Now it's just whenever you want, no apology, completely free. Listen, if you with something like that, I have horrible moral issues. If you want an abortion, pay for it yourself. Don't drag me into your immorality. Pay for it yourself. That's what I say.
I agree. 100%, yeah. It's fucked up.
Or simply don't do it at all and give the baby to someone else who wants to have a kid.
That's what I say. Give it up for adoption.
Like what happened in the movie Juno.
Any other movie? Oh, did you see Inside Out? That one?
Oh, I love that one.
It's my favorite. It's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Cool, and mine as well.
It was actually really clever. Like
Indeed.
It's very and very what I should call symbolically accurate to an extent.
Very.
So Loudmouth, what exactly politically are you? Would you consider yourself?
Libertarian.
Me too. Although I took every test I take shows me as moderately conservative. Like when I took one test, it showed me as fiscally quite conservative, but when it showed me socially it just didn't show me. It showed me almost directly in the middle. Another thing called me a business conservative. So I'm relatively conservative fiscally, but when it comes to social issues, I'm kind of in the center.
Kind of with me too. It's kind of how I stand as well.
Yeah. I somewhat think that libertarianism in itself is kind of a moderate ideology, because I kind of think the political spectrum is a circle, and that the more extreme you are to either left or right, you become more totalitarian by nature. And if you but if you're if you're a libertarian and you believe and you put freedom above everything else, you become less totalitarian in that, and you're more willing to compromise some of your principles for the greater good of freedom.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of the political spectrum. Most political tests are not. I don't find are very accurate. The S Man's back. I'll be dang.
How are you doing?
Welcome aboard.
Hey guys, I just had to get some dinner. So before you guys get back to what you're talking about, I just want to say I don't know why Hunter reminds me of Mr. Upstown so much.
I actually do.
He kind of does.
The name of my channel, is actually The Incredible Aspie. I just don't know how to use my YouTube account for Google.
Jeff LeBass.
For Google Hangouts.
I'm the dude, man.
So you guys do have YouTube channels yourselves?
Yes.
I'll subscribe to them.
Mine's The Incredible Aspie.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. I hope you don't like
Yes,
Green Day because I made a video criticizing Green
channel,
Day.
and I'm retired from making YouTube videos.
I hope you have the time of your life.
Actually, I had to sing that at a graduation once, and I
Me
hate my.
too.
Turning point.
I hated myself for singing that song, having to sing that. But
Seinfeld with that song. Okay, come on.
Yeah, and then we had to sing some Avril Lavigne song, and I'm like, that was just worse.
Oh,
some.
Which song? Oh, that one.
I remember
it's
doing
called
a YouTube video on that song once.
The song was "Stay Strong," and I wanted to die after that. I'm like, I went to the teacher. I'm like, why did you have us sing that? And she's like, it's a great song. I'm like, no, it's not. Just no, it's not. Like, and another thing I don't like about singers is when they hum into the microphone. Like some people, it just makes it's like so painful. It's like, how could you do that to someone? Like that's torture, and that type of songs should just be illegal.
What type of hum? What do you mean hum into the microphone?
You know, like I don't know how to describe it, but some songs when they start
You
the
guys
song.
are heard of BoJack Horseman on Netflix?
Oh God, that makes me want to. That type is the worst. Like it should be a capital offense to do that.
Yeah. Lord, yeah.
Oh God. Oh,
I have a really long vocal range.
I can tell. And this is So is this your first hangout, Hunter? Like live on air?
No, I've been on a few.
Good.
This is my
I have as well.
time.
On my second debate, I was on a hangout and I used regular earbuds without a mic on it, and I sounded like I was going through a McDonald's speaker, and I would listen to it and it'd blow everyone's ears out. So this is a good alternative. It also works on my YouNow stream. So
Yeah, be like, would you like to supersize that order, please?
yeah.
They actually don't do supersizes anymore. They don't supersize stuff at McDonald's anymore. And for good reason.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Supersizing over there is your fat ass. Ding. Joke.
Hey, what is the most offensive joke any of you guys ever heard? Like,
I got one, but it might piss one of you guys off.
Okay, here goes. Do it. I can stand being offended. Do it.
Okay.
I gotta remember what it was.
Andy,
Oh God. Okay, what is the New York Fire Department's favorite song?
What?
It's Raining Men.
Thinking.
Oh my!
I'm gonna say every single Jason Freeberg and Aaron Seltzer movie. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, actually, this is the most offensive joke I've ever heard. It was from Jimmy Carr, and forgive me for this. You probably won't find it funny, but it was by English comedian Jimmy Carr. Oh dear, I feel terrible for saying this. What they say, there's safety in numbers. Yeah, tell that to 6 million Jews.
Oh god. Oh my god, that's
That is the most offensive thing I think I've ever heard in my life. I was literally on the ground when I heard that. It was.
yeah. I mean, all right.
Too much.
Yeah,
that's
fair
too far.
Yeah.
Too much. No more. All right.
Fair enough. And to be fair, what we find comedy is always going to be subjective. So to be fair,
Yeah, that's what everybody says.
I mean, it is
So
true.
true.
I mean, you might find some police brutality jokes funny. Some might not. I mean, after all, how many cops did it take to change a light bulb?
I don't
Depends
know how
on
many.
who's getting beaten up.
0 that beat them for being black. That was a joke I heard from
No.
Amazing Atheist.
Nope.
I didn't
Not funny.
I didn't come up with the joke. It was from the Amazing Atheist.
Amazing atheist.
I'm gonna check the stream. I'm gonna check the chat to make sure nobody's gonna kill me after that joke.
They're probably going to dox us all. All right.
I'm already
I'm
got
going-
my name out there. I'm not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm still in college. Ugh.
I used to have this YouTube channel under my actual name, and I was like, no, I like S-Man Speaks better. And about when Jim mentioned how I put out a lot of videos, it's just like I find so much stupidity to mock. It's like I just gotta mock it all. And also, it's actually easy to make a video off of just a little mobile device.
Wherever I may roam, my land or sea or home, you will
This is my jam.
always hear me sing this song. Show me the way to go home, 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 home. Show me the way to go.
Mute him. There we go. There we go.
He's laughing.
One of the one thing I really enjoy about your channel, Jim, is that every time like you upload a new video, it's like it's thought provoking. Like I'd watch your movie reviews, and it's like, oh, I'm probably not going to agree with it. So
Darn it! I'm trying to mute the guy. There we go. Okay.
whenever
you're on
whenever I would watch a movie review, it's pretty thought provoking. And when I watched your response to what's that one lady's name who called herself a whore? What was her name? Yeah, she's like she was repeating what people would call her on Twitter. Ashley Judd. That's her face. Oh my god. Yeah.
Period woman? The one who was talking about her period during the Women's March?
Oh god, that was. I think that was her. I don't know. The Women's March was the funniest thing ever. Like that was my comedy gold because it's like that didn't change anything. It didn't make a difference. And a day without without that's genius. A day without women. I also thought that was like really stupid. It's like it didn't make any difference. And but the funniest thing though was when one YouTube user I watch, he's like, a day without women didn't make a difference, but a day without men would. The whole country would come to a halt, and it's like maybe that's true. And it would have been really interesting had because he and some other chick were going to debate, but it never happened. And debates are interesting on here because it's very thought provoking. Have you guys ever been in debates, like on Hangouts or whatever,
No.
or Skype or whatever?
All right.
I
I
know.
guess I could too debate.
Yeah. I got into a debate. Hey, Loudmouth. I think the only video.
I would
I
go
think the-
for is pretty much a versus kind. Okay.
Hey,
I got some. Pinhead from Hellraiser versus Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street. Who'd you vote for?
I would vote for Freddy Krueger.
Same.
Why would he? How would he win against Pinhead?
Slash him.
But
Oh,
then
he'd probably
again-
like that.
yeah, Pinhead does got a ridiculous obsession with pain because he is pain.
That is BDS. He's ultra BDSM. That movie is.
He's scary. Yep. Don't
Yeah.
open the box.
Don't open the box, or else I'll open your box.
Scary.
Yeah, it is. Hey, Loudmouth, or Jim. Jim. I think the only video which I had a slight problem with was the video you did about traditional marriage, because I kind of
pissed some people off. I know.
What's your views on it?
Huh?
What do you mean by traditional marriage? Like marriage between a man and a woman?
Responding to Lauren Southern on her arguing that a more traditional society was better, I kind of take the piss out of her worldview.
That was a good video, man.
Sexual partners is better.
Here's another debate, and it's society versus society.
It pissed some more like conservative
Orange
people off.
versus idiocracy. Which dystopian future would definitely be the worst to live in the future?
I'd say idiocracy for sure.
That one's more worse than Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah.
I know one city that's worse than every city on Earth. It's called Chrisiosity.
What's that?
Oh.
It's a YouTuber.
Feminist YouTuber.
Yeah, feminist YouTuber. She called me a bitch in some comment thread. I'm like, so I get called. She's like, oh, she was mocking me. Like, she's like, oh, I'm all bitchy, and I'm like, okay. So I get called immature in a live video response. Yet, what she's doing is completely just peachy, and I've only had two. I've had a few video responses made to me. Two of them were live, so, and it was by the same guy who thinks that capitalism affected Bering and thinks that.
I remember that guy. Holy fuck.
God, he thinks that the employers could run the company without the bosses, no problem, and that CEOs don't do much. And he thinks that capitalism is unfair to the working class. And like when he said some of his statements, I'm just like, just sitting here at my desk thinking, how many brain cells did I just lose? Just like, what the actual fuck?
You've probably lost about half of them. Hey,
after that,
Keep going, sorry.
After that, I was like, okay, do you have any citations? Because he said throughout history it's worked, and it's like, okay, example please. And his description, there was nothing, and now over 100 people hit the thumbs down button. And honestly, it's like, I don't understand. It's like, and I call out socialists on this on YouTube, where it's like, okay, you hate capitalism, but you're unnecessarily contributing to it. Like, you don't need a phone. You don't need a computer. All these things that do contribute to that were products of capitalism. You don't need them. For educational purposes, okay, I can I give some leeway, but not very much. And so far, it's like, all right, capitalism isn't perfect, but what alternative do we have?
And you know what view I found the perfect what some socialists think of capitalism, because I saw a video by this other vegan, not Vegan Gains. Vegan Gains at least has some sense on this issue, but but there's the other guy named I think his name's John Sakers or something. I don't know.
Oh no! Oh god!
Yeah, he made a video called "Shit Capitalists Say," and it was half the things he was saying were actually true.
Yeah, he's trying to debunk capitalism, but he kind of proves the point of a pro-capitalist. I made a couple videos to him. One was about how he's thinking that the gender binary scares the hell out of him, and that song was terrible. And then there's one song where he has his shirt off, he's trying to dance, and he's like, he can make anyone want to go vegan, and I'm like, I'll go vegan if you put your fucking shirt back on.
I want to lick your vegan vagina.
Ew. No way, man. No way. Ew, gross.
About that guy, though, what was so stupid, he was arguing about capitalism affecting Bering is Bering's misfortune there with that stupid bear icon he used was his own fucking fault, okay?
Yeah, it's like, you can't blame...
better than to use that stupid icon that long, okay? That was
yeah, it's like... Yeah, it's like, okay, okay, number one, he could get a real job. Like, okay, YouTube is somewhat of a job, but not for much longer with how YouTube's going. And it's like, he could have gone to other websites. He wasn't screwed. It's not like as if YouTube capitalism killed him or anything. It's like he could get a job where he has to go there physically or go to other websites. He had other channels, and he had Patreon and PayPal and all that other shit. So it's like, he would have been fine for a while. And because it was his own fault, you can't blame capitalism. It's like, he even went that far to just say, It's like he didn't give a fuck about the situation. He didn't give a fuck about Bering and his well-being. He just wanted to shit on capitalism even more. And he so far has not been able to prove that employees, without any bosses helping them, could just run the company just fine. It's like anarcho-capitalists called bullshit on that. And I'm not sold on anarchy. I'm not sure if it could work. I mean, privatizing, they want to privatize a lot of things like the military, the police, the courts, and it's like, I don't know if that'd be a good idea.
No. Also, I gotta say, a lot of these, I think it has to come down to the kind of socialist view of human nature. Like, socialists and ultra progressives think that human nature in itself is good, while people who are more kind of on the conservative side or more sensible side think that human nature is intrinsically flawed, and that we're naturally selfish, naturally bad. We're naturally going to want to do we naturally want what's best for us, or what we just want, or what we desire, and a lot of us are willing to go to malicious means to get it. So
yeah, so it's a
50-50.
Yeah, that's why I don't personally use the human nature argument. I mean, it makes sense in some areas, but it's like, then we're all just kind of, it's like,
there's always a 50-50 on those things, because that's a part of human nature.
Yeah,
I mean, 50-50.
Yeah, and I've never really. I did the guy who was bitching about capitalism and Bering. I debated him maybe a little bit on capitalism versus socialism, because he thinks capitalism hurt. We can't have gender equality unless we get rid of capitalism. It's like, when he said that, I'm just thinking he'll blame everything on capitalism. Your order from Freddy's didn't get was overdone. Capitalism. You stubbed your toe on your desk. Capitalism. Your alarm clock didn't wake you up. Capitalism.
That's ridiculous.
Capitalism.
Not everything is capitalism's fault. The alarm clock part, definitely not that. That's your own fault. You replace the battery or get a new one.
Good to Bering. All right, Bering makes a living on YouTube, just making videos every day.
Yeah.
It seems pretty hot. Seems like the capitalism has been pretty fucking good to that guy.
Yeah, and
it's like what Lemma said in that Idiocracy video, the advertisement thing. You're an adult living in a free country. Advertising and others can't manipulate you unless you allow yourself to be manipulated by them. In today's world, you can easily pull a device out of your pocket, access Google or Bing or other search engines, learn anything that you need to know at the click of a button. Thus, in today's world, your ignorance is your own fault.
Yeah, and also
thank you for quoting me so well.
And another example I wanted to use is, if your John Grisham novel isn't entertaining you, capitalism. It's like, dude, come on. And he even went as far as to say
that's
that
ridiculous.
This dude even went as
against capitalism. You could do a much better job than that. That was like the dumbest thing ever.
No,
I got a dumber example. He says that
that's your own fault. Saying
this guy says that
didn't entertain you, that's your own fault.
I like John Grisham's novels; they're pretty entertaining. But one thing I noticed is this guy he even went as far as to say that capitalism is an enemy to video games. Like, no, it's not. If you
created video games, goddamn it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, come on. I even did a response to that video, and it was even in a new format, so it was a good milestone there. Same one with the Superwoman video I responded to, and it's like, come on, dude, you could have found something other than video games. It's like, video games was helped by capitalism. If you look at the video games back when video games started off to now, there's been a major improvement, and it's like, if you think these games are shitty or something like that, then don't buy them. And when it comes to online gameplay costing too much, that's a first world problem, and it shouldn't be free. Nothing.
Talk about, that is the definition of a first world problem right there.
Yeah, and then he even went as far as to say that YouTube comments, if they're just focusing on the appearance of a woman, is a reason for feminism. I was like, dude, you're just grasping. You're just. I'm just like, dude, life isn't fair. And he's like, oh, only oppressors say that. I'm like, yes, I'm oppressing your
Who says life is fair?
Yeah, it's like it's
one.
it's
Yeah,
not.
focusing on women's. What you got to admit though, if an attractive woman's making a point, doesn't matter how well she makes it, the comment section's just gonna be like, "Marry me, fuck me."
It's like that might be a creepy comment, but it's a first world problem. It's not as if that
it's a
killed her.
first world problem. I mean, does it? Because ultimately, every like attractive woman on the internet's all profiting off it. Okay.
Yeah, and also it's like
If you're an attractive woman, you got a massive advantage over everybody else on the internet. Just by
yeah.
That's true.
One thing I did.
Keep going.
Okay, so and he's all like, because it's like not only is life isn't fair, but it's not unfair, but it's not fair. It's just what it is. And the funniest thing
It is
though,
what it is.
because I made a little jab at his expense in the "I Need Feminism" video, which I think
Can't worry
Loudmouth
about
commented
that
on.
type of shit, man. Life goes on, man.
It was so.
Life goes on.
The dude didn't understand, like Owen didn't understand that it was a satire video, so he made a response to it, and I was laughing my ass off throughout certain portions of it. I've never done so much laughing in the last few months, but then again, when you attack people like him with logic and common sense, and you use a screen recorder and you pause on a funny face they make, laughter's guaranteed. I was dead that day.
Something.
So how's 2017 been for you guys?
Oh, it's been good. It's been part of it has been hell, but it's been good.
Same
Same thing with me as well. Ever since we're moving, and I've been missing out on a few films. I've been missing out on seeing Logan, and I'm missing out on seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Vault 2.
Yeah, the world's slowly going to hell. There's now a movement for people to accept pedophilia. Just things like Omnipod.
Oh my god!
We'll see them.
The world's going to hell.
I actually got an SJW to agree with me about months ago. There was this guy named OmniPolitics16.
Oh!
I made a video to him, and some of his fans gave me shit in the comments. And one SJW said he agreed with me.
It's just going to be the same as it is every day.
Because it was like he's like I think he was only pissed off because people were saying that socialists enable it.
There will always be someone with even the smallest amount of average intelligence can keep the ball rolling.
Yeah. One thing I did notice, because I did make a live response to this pedophile group called Heart Progress. So, some of their fans invaded my chat and started spamming the fuck out of it. And they're like, what do you think should happen to pedophiles?
Average guy.
Yeah, I got 6 people watching my stream, and I was like, I'm YouTube famous. So they started spamming the chat, and they're like, what do you think should happen to pedophiles? And I'm like, either castration or execution. And they're like, you're sick. And I'm like, okay, I don't care. And they're like, you're just like Hitler. And I'm like, if me wanting pedophiles off this earth makes me Hitler, I take the crown. I will just take the crown and put on these sunglasses as my crown.
Here's what I go for. I would go for a fair trial. And
well, of course, due process.
Put him in jail for 5 decades.
Yeah, and besides, like, of course, we gotta have just execute them, even though that'd be nice. At the very least, they should be diagnosed with it, and if they're diagnosed with it.
You froze, S-Man.
S-Man froze.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That sucks. That sucks.
Maybe we'll get him back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Best movie of 2017 so far. What are your picks?
What am I picking?
Oh, you scared the fuck out of me because it froze on me.
What am I thinking?
What are all your best pick for best movie of 2017?
The best movie of 2017.
A Dog's Purpose.
So far. Oh my god.
Dog's Purpose by far.
Dear.
Why is it always the sad dog movies that I don't understand? Me and Marley, sad. What was that one where back in the 50s where that kid had to shoot his own dog because it had rabies?
Old Yeller.
So, Where the Red Ferns Grow, movies like that.
I saw that movie on Netflix.
You still got tears running down from it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do feel bad about the 2 dogs that the boy lost.
Dogs are better than cats, in my opinion.
Yeah, you'll see nobody make them.
And dogs. Even though I'm mostly a dog person, I still like cats.
I mean, they're not the worst thing, but go ahead.
My favorite the best movie of 2017 so far is a movie called A Monster Calls.
Let me Google that. I don't know what that is.
It plays a computer animated monster in it, and it's the one.
I know that one. I saw the trailer. I was planning on seeing the theaters, but didn't have the time or money.
So good.
My sister I heard my sister crying after watching Pete's Dragon.
I love that one.
Yeah,
but not A Monster Calls. If that one made her cry, God, A Monster Calls 100 times more sad.
Really? Is
What
it a sad movie?
made
Is it
me
a tragic
cry? Okay.
I have come to get you, Connor.
Two, actually. King Kong.
Worst music video ever.
And Carrie.
Worst music video ever.
I could. It's Everyday Bro.
Wipe your ass.
Call me crazy.
It's Everyday Bro is the worst ever, though. Well, Justin Bieber, Rebecca Black, and then Everyday Bro.
Wipe.
It's Everyday.
Carrie made me cry.
England is,
but at the same time, shocked me.
England is my city was one of the lyrics to the song. I'm like, no.
But then again,
like,
now that I think about it, I don't know whether to be shocked or be happy to get her hand come out at the end.
Didn't mean to do that. I'm just checking the chat right now.
I'm reading the plot to that movie, A Monster Calls. Yeesh, this is a very sad movie.
It is.
I'm about to start crying just reading the plot. Yeesh.
Okay, here's another one.
All about cancer.
What's your guys'
E.T.?
What's your guys' longest videos?
My longest video that's not a live stream is my review of Exodus: Gods and Kings.
My longest video was just my first debate, and God, that was so off the rails. And
Was it a
live stream. The longest one that wasn't a live stream was my response to a live response to me, and the funniest thing was the person couldn't even satire. Could not even satire. I love it when people can't satire because it's like you can just make more satire on them. A lolcow is what they're called.
So exactly what part of the country are you in, Loudmouth? Detroit? Ooh, yeah, Detroit. I've heard Detroit is not exactly the safest city to live in.
I'm in Troy, New York. I'm
in Utah.
Yeah, that's safe.
Couple, I think, like the state capital. It's the Mormons here are hilarious because like they talk about atheists forcing their beliefs on them, yet they come to my door all the time trying to offer me a spot in their group, and it's like the pot is calling the kettle black in this instance. Which
yes,
people think that's a racist term. It's like, no, it's not. A pot and a kettle are the same color, and usually pot and kettles are black. So how is that racist? People think everything's racist. This cup right here is racist.
Everything is racist.
The envelope. The envelope.
Racist. God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything is racist.
This wall is racist. This wall is racist.
Because it's white.
Oh my god.
This wall is white. This wall oppresses any minority.
This wall is white supremacy.
Mormons.
Oh, no.
My wall is white supremacy. Yeah.
This microphone is white supremacy. These are actually pretty good on live streams.
Well, it is
These
white.
papers. Hey, what do you guys think of? Keep going.
This is white supremacy. This is white supremacy. Oh shit.
Hashtag Black Lives Matter.
All of lives matter. Damn it. My shirt matters.
What do you guys think of BLM?
What's that?
Terrorist organization?
Yeah, Black Lives Matter.
Of what? Oh, they are. Some of my own relatives get triggered by Blue Lives Matter, and it's like, okay. You do know that Black Lives Matter is anti-police, and I think one of the founders, and a lot of the members, I can't remember what's going with that, but some of the members of Black Lives Matter were all up in arms and happy about the police shooting in Dallas last year.
Oh dear Lord Jesus.
Be going right now. I'll see you guys later.
They are
Bye.
scumbags.
See you, man.
See you later.
Actually, I think Black Lives Matter was started after the whole Trayvon Martin thing, which is just a perfect catalyst of what this organization is like. Because George Zimmerman, not a good guy, wasn't really the best person on the planet. But still, I don't think he was guilty of first-degree murder. I mean, obviously the circumstances are slightly questionable, but I do not think the man's a murderer.
I mean, it's like the state went too far with first-degree murder. In Florida, you got first-degree,
First-degree murder. They charged him with second-degree murder.
Well, yeah, and that was still too far. Like they got in Florida, they have first-degree murder in the first, second, and third degree. Then you got aggravated manslaughter and just manslaughter. It's like they probably should have gone with third-degree murder or manslaughter. I mean, it's like you shouldn't have. Yeah, and and besides, it's like the 911 operator said, "Don't follow Trayvon, or just don't follow him." And it's like that was just too hard for him. I thought Black Lives Matter was started over the one in the shooting in Missouri, Michael Brown. Even though he attacked the cop, he committed a robbery, and the city's still going to pay for it over this thing, which happened almost 3 years ago, which. It shouldn't take that long to settle
during
the
funeral, during Michael Brown's funeral, they says that he was spreading the word of Jesus.
That isn't surprising. Hunter, I don't know why. When you just said that just sounded so much like Mr. Repzion. You're like now every time I look at you, I can just see his face. But okay, so they think Michael Brown was spreading the word of Jesus. This somewhat kind of makes me understand why they were going with a suit against the city. And the funny thing is, it's like whenever I see people saying they're Black Lives Matter advocates, and it's like, you should really know the movement you're going with. It's like a woman saying she's a feminist. It's like, really? Okay. And it's like Black Lives Matter. Who gets shot by the cops more? Either I think maybe white people might get shot by the cops more, or black cops might shoot black suspects more than white cops. Well, I can't remember. I'll try to find that stat. But it's like, if that's the case, then all right. Okay, so it's like, would you call that out? And also for white people who get shot by the cops, it's not publicized as much. And for cases where people are it's also like, if you're anti-police, what would you, or what I'm trying to say is, would you be pissed off if a black cop shot a black suspect, and if a black cop gets killed, would you have a problem with that?
They did get pissed. This one guy actually did get shot by a black cop. Turns out they thought he didn't. They said I forgot, but he had like some mental disorder, and they thought he had a book, but he really didn't have a book. He actually had a gun.
Yeah, he had a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is with some SJWs, it pisses me off. Some of them, it's like they say, well, the cops sign up for that job if they get shot or something. It's like no one in their right mind would sign up for a job just to die. It's like they understand that's a risk, but most sane people, they're just trying to protect and serve. They're not thinking, I'm going to die today. They know that they might, and it's always a possibility, but that extends to everybody. The risk might be higher as a cop, but they don't just sign up. They're like, yep, I could die. I'm going to sign up anyway. And it's like, people are like, they're blue 40 hours a week, I'm black 365. It's like, that still doesn't make it right to kill cops. And this Godzi Kadzo dude tried to justify the cop killing, so I'm thinking, dude, he started bringing up Obama, and it's like that's besides the point. Yeah,
lunatic. Okay, that man.
Yeah, and it's
kind of lunatic.
I think he's kind of funny actually because he's so out there. He's actually kind of like a car wreck on the highway. You know, you don't want to look.
I mean, he's incredibly racist. He's an incredibly racist fellow. There's no doubt.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, but actually, did you see he did an interview with Gavin McInnes and Andy Cuomo, and he actually debated them, and one of the most triggered I loved the look on Ghazi's face when Gavin McInnes says, "Wasn't colonialism somewhat of an improvement for some of these countries?" You should have seen the look on Ghazi's face. It was just like it would just looked wild. You should find the interview. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I remember. I was just watching one of Ghazi's videos a couple weeks ago, and it's like he's so anti-white. Yet I don't know if he's gay or something, but I think he might be dating a white person. I think he's dating a white person. It's like, okay, this is what I can't stand with racists is when they date someone of another race, because it's like, if you're racist, why would you date someone of another race? It's like, and the person that's dating the anti whatever race they hate, it's like, I'm sorry, but the word cuck goes to you. Like, I don't use the word cuck that often, but Francesca Ramsey's husband, he's white, but I think she's starting to back off with the anti-white racism.
Yeah, she is. I couldn't believe when she says that her husband was white. When I found out her husband, I was like, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He must have been desperate.
Living with that woman with her anti-white views, being a white guy married to her. Oh my God. Imagine going home every day being berated by her. You're oppressing me with your colonialism. And God, living with that day in and day out. God, I couldn't take it anymore.
When we're in bed, you cannot be on top. Because being on top is white supremacy.
I think I can picture what their house looks like. This is not allowed. They got to paint this over. They got to paint it all over. All the walls are either brown or black or whatever. It's just too white. And she makes her husband paint himself black because this is too white. I need to get more tan or something.
They don't cook their eggs over easy.
No. Not allowed.
And there's something that's been going.
Again.
Me? Am I frozen now?
No,
Am I frozen? Okay. Anyway.
Not frozen.
One thing I've been noticing that's been pretty good. This quick question: what kind of microphone is that? I'm assuming it's a snowball. Okay. Those can be pretty. I'd use if I had an actual microphone besides this, I'd probably use a Blue Yeti. I think those are easier for live streams. I don't know. But one thing I noticed that was in the last couple months is a lot of people that used to be SJW or a feminist are starting to be more open-minded. Like, it started with Lacey Green, and now Milo Stewart has admitted that some of his ideas were kind of stupid. And now Francesca Ramsey is starting to open her eyes to the bullshit she was spewing.
Thank you, Andy Worski.
Andy is our Lord and Savior.
Chris Reagan's penis apparently cured Lacey Green of her bullshit.
Yeah, she got his ray gun.
Yeah. Chris Ray gun is a magic dick that saves bad women from their nonsense.
Yeah, it was because when
it's the opposite. Like every woman I fuck becomes even more crazy afterwards. So I have a cursed penis, I guess.
One thing that it's like when Lacey offered to shoot the shit with Blair White, I was surprised. I was like, no way, this could be real. So, and then when they started having to stream, the chat was just spammed like no other. Maybe 10,000 people watching, I think, and it was like, that was an interesting stream. A lot of the messages in the chat were pretty messed up. Like, a lot of them were saying that Blair and Lacey should kiss, and like, oh my god, that's so stupid.
Like, they're trolls. They're trolls. It's 4chan.
Granny, but I mean, But let's say it was her together with, I don't know, let's see, Kiss of Vieira, Best of Bread, Ron Milano, one of those, one of them together with Lacey Green, okay? And all right, and somebody
That would be great.
Let them kiss. I'd be like, you know what? That ain't too bad of an idea.
Yeah, and besides, if it involved roaming millennial, Vegan Gains would be all over that shit.
Oh God!
I mean,
if you'd be behind the stream, angrily typing.
His wife doesn't.
All right, you would not believe the angry messages that a man can type with just his left hand because his right hand. 90% of the comments on millennials while I typed with one hand. Oh God, it's so wonderful.
Yeah, I didn't see when I first saw Lacey when I first saw a Lacey Green video. I don't think I saw her face for like the first 10 minutes of the video.
I mean, in her stream with Blair Wyatt, it's like a lot of the messages were also saying they could see Lacey's shirt, and I'm like, okay, to be fair, I mean, Lacey, in my opinion, looks nice and all, but it was like, it wasn't surprising me if most of 4chan was on that stream. I wonder how much money she went.
Her face is only okay, but she does have some nice titties. I'll give her that.
Yeah, her voice though makes me want to put Drano in my ears.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, hot body and ugly face really sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, I love spaghetti, but it has shit on it.
Her face is okay, but it's not like wow kind of face.
Yeah, it's okay. And it's just below plastic bag. It's just above plastic bag.
Speaking of plastic bags, we had someone with the skin texture of one almost become president.
Yes.
Images of her, I was like, Jesus Christ! Photographers can be dickheads. It's like they just take the most unflattering image, and you just want to be like, you just want to pour bleach in your eyes. That's just too painful. The one thing though, with the whole Vegan Gains and roaming millennial thing, it's like I don't get why he needs to get so angry during debates. Like I used to get quite angry with my opponents. With me.
There's no reason with him.
He's an ideologue. He's a vegan ideologue.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like, with me personally, whenever I make a video response, sometimes I get pissed off. Not as much anymore, but I used to. But when I have a live debate with someone, I'm different because I'm more of my true colors. The S-Man persona is mostly satirical, but I do throw in my points. But whenever I debate people, I'm usually calmer because I'm like, okay, I get to have a debate with someone. All right. There was this one guy I had a debate with where he would cut me off a lot. He insulted my appearance, so I insulted his, and then he called me homophobic because I made fun of the way his lips looked. I said that he had pussy lips, and then he said, "You're homophobic," and I'm like, "How? Are you a straight male?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Then I'm not homophobic." And I'm like, okay, you made fun of my acne. I don't know what. Are you ageist? Because people my age get this shit all the time. Are you ageist?
What did you say to the gay guy? What did you say? What did you call you homophobic again? You froze.
The guy, he called me homophobic because I said he looked like he had pussy lips because his lips were all ginormous like Steve Shives' lips, and he's calling me homophobic. Yes, and with Steve Shives, he needs to get that dealt with immediately. The funny thing was, it's like okay, so you make fun of my appearance, so I do the same back to you, but then you have a problem with it. So what could I easily just say? You're ageist because I have acne, and you're making fun of my acne because I can't help that. Just like how he can't help his lips. It was just all laughable, and that was the most painful debate I ever had, especially considering the fact it was over almost 3 hours. Near the end, I wasn't wanting to put my head through this drywall here. It's not drywall; it's actually a cement wall. I was glad it was over. It was also on April Fool's because his points were kind of like jokes.
Yeah, I've never been on a debate, but actually I started my YouTube account because I wanted to talk to a lot of people. That's why I thought I found the YouTube kind of skeptic community to be very intelligent, and you could say I wanted to have conversations with a lot of these people. Also make some nice videos, and I'm also a singer, so I am put videos of myself playing my guitar and singing on YouTube.
Hunter, to Hunter, if you ever want to have a chat with people, like, I don't know if you have many chats on your channel, but if you ever want to chat, I'll chat with you. Also, because I'd like to hear some of your guys' opinions on stuff, because with my debates, I've debated people about gender, feminism, capital punishment, and race-related topics. For me personally, I'm a proponent of the death penalty. I don't know about you guys.
I'm against
Me too.
the death penalty.
Me too.
my debate.
I'm for the death penalty. I'm sorry, I'm for it.
I'm against it because I worry about the prospect of innocent convictions.
That would be one point I could agree with. The one thing though, like I think that my debate with the guy who blamed capitalism on Bering, that guy, he's against it, and we and him were talking, and he was pointing out the death penalty, which I could understand where he's coming from. So I offered a bunch of theories of mine as to how we could maybe remedy the problem, if not solve it. And he just glosses over it, and then he says, I'm not answering questions, like how you can morally justify the government executing its own people. And I think I may have answered the question, but he just glosses over it, and it's like, whether you agree with my position on the death penalty or not is just fine, but it's like, dude, you're glossing over my points, yet you accuse me of doing the same. It's like, it just was a lot of inconsistencies. Opinion on feminism is, but I think Loudmouth might agree with me on it. I don't know. I mean, I have no issues just talking with feminists about whether the topic itself or just about anything.
Absolutely, I'll talk to any feminist. I don't care.
Me too.
I'll talk to anyone who wants to come on my channel. You want to come on my channel? I'll talk to you.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, though, I can't stream on my own channel with Hangouts. I can with you now, which is like a Google Hangout, except you can only have yourself on with another person, but you're both physically in the stream.
He's
and
back.
That's kind of a cool thing.
Yes.
Hey, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Just had to check on a lot of messages. I mean, when I came in, it took longer due to how I instantly saw the live chat, wanted to be a part of it, and you get it. Hey, Jim.
Hello.
But only for 20 minutes, because I do want to get back on watching my Netflix series.
Cool.
Oh, hey, Jim, what is that poster behind you?
You sound a lot like Mr. Epsilon.
Available for purchase, Stars of the Sky.
Who? Me?
You should purchase, and you should read.
Not Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your guys' favorite author? Like, for books or whatever?
My favorite author.
Mine is this guy.
Jim Arapasta.
Well, I like Stephen King, J.R.R. Tolkien, Roald Dahl,
Jim.
and Neil Gaiman, and
You there,
I
Loudmouth?
don't think I've read enough books in order to. He's explaining the poster to me. He was trying to explain the poster to me. What it was. Is that like your book?
That is my
Me
book.
too. Oh, that's your book. Wow. What's it about?
It's a science fiction novel set 20,000 years
Oh,
ago
okay,
about a
Dick.
gay boy who meets an alien that crash lands on Earth and tries to help him get back home. And they head through a journey across the frozen tundra of the Ice Age.
Jim, I can't read his last name. I can see it, but I just can't pronounce it because I'm terrible with last names because logic.
That is me.
That sounds like a cool book. Is it online? Can you get it online or a physical copy?
BarnesandNoble.com as well as Amazon.com as well as purchase it from the publisher.
Stars of the Sky. I'm not leaving the stream. I'm just gonna say when I can. I'm gonna search from Barnes and Noble. I like that store. The only thing is, it always has a wooden smell to it. Whenever I enter a Barnes and Noble, it smells like a wood shop.
I totally get that feeling because that's what I smell whenever I come in there. And I do hope I would get a job there. Either that or BJ's or Hanford or FYE or a movie theater or a Target.
You know, BJ's is probably going to be one of the most poorly named restaurants ever. BJ's.
BJ's Wholesale Club.
Hey, I'd probably go into a play if BJ's meant what I thought it meant. It would probably enter there a lot more.
Every man in the country would go in there.
Yeah.
There'd be a line out the door, dude.
I could
I
understand.
think Idiocracy is gonna do that.
Idiocracy, yes, would do exactly that.
The Starbucks and the
I don't think we have time for a hand job, Joe.
I would like to go to BJ's. Yeah, well, I really don't think we have time for a, you know what, Joe.
We don't have time for a hand job, Joe.
Man, have you ever been to BJ's? That place really sucks.
My mom has a BJ's membership card there, and we do our grocery shopping there occasionally, as well as Dollar Tree or Walmart or any other place that we have membership cards to.
Yeah, I love an Idiocracy. How was it? Carl's Jr.'s changes its slogan from "Don't bother me, I'm eating" to "Fuck you, I'm eating." Carl's Jr. believes no child should go hungry. You are not a good mother. Your children will be placed in the custody of Carl's Jr.'s. Carl's Jr.'s. Fuck you.
I'm the Secretary of the State, brought to you by Carl's Jr. Why do you keep saying that? Because they pay me every time I do.
See some of the Carl's Jr. commercials with the women in it. Ooh,
I saw that on his video about Idiocracy.
Yeah, the one with Charlotte McKinney, yeah. And I point out the fact that if she was really eating their crap, she wouldn't be such jerk-off.
Such jerk-off material.
True.
Yes.
She wouldn't be jerk-off material. She'd be roasting material. I don't know I can't think of a joke.
Too bad they don't have a skip ad button for those things. Too bad the skip ad button arrives too late.
Yeah.
BoJack Horseman said that.
Don't you guys? I'd use AdBlock. I don't use it, but if I wanted to, I would.
I use AdBlock all the time.
I mean, like
AdBlock. If you watch one of my videos of AdBlock, you're stealing from me. Okay.
The only time I will ever use AdBlock is if it's on an SJW video or a video that's really stupid, like It's Everyday Bro. I don't know if you guys listen to that song, but one of the lyrics is "England is my city." I honestly, I will say I was just laughing my ass off because this dude who looks like Jabba the Hutt is rapping. He's a British dude, and he says that, and it's like false. Dwight from The Office would just be yelling false. England is part of the UK. How's my camera doing? I've never really used it for live streams. Oh, shit.
Hey, I got to tell you about this comedian from Scotland named Frankie Boyle. Probably one of the most offensive comedians I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
I never heard of that guy.
Well, he's hilarious. He did a joke called Michael Jackson's Children's Hospital. It's bad.
I never heard of that.
Hey, yeah, this is your stream, Jim. You can share screen and go to YouTube and show everybody. It's pretty hilarious.
I don't know.
Screen share I've tried to use screen share on someone else's computer. It is it's so laggy. So if you ever do a live response, keep in mind you're going to be pausing on some funny faces, and Hangout screen share makes it so much worse.
True.
And I would know because I had someone make a live response to me with that, and I was. I wanted to put my fist through my phone, and like that was so painful.
I got something. Which would be the worst pet you would ever want to keep as a pet? Cujo or Stripe from Gremlins?
Cujo, because if I don't like someone, I'll just let Cujo maul them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what any of those are, so.
Cujo is a psycho dog, and
he got bitten by a bat at the beginning of the movie, and okay, it's a movie based on a Stephen King novel back in 1983, or it was sometime after The Shining. Yeah. And there's this family. You got this woman played by Dee Wallace, who I will forever know her as Elliot's mom from E.T. She's in that. And she has a 5-year-old son, and the dad is always busy going to his company to take care of his cereal product and stuff. Cars breaking down, and slowly Cujo gets rabid and more crazy. He starts off as a nice pet, but then as the rabies he gotten from that bat that bit him, he slowly becomes a monster. Yeah, it is pretty terrifying.
Yeah, I remember the Stephen King. He's written some not just scary books, but actually some really
he did. He did The Shawshank Redemption, and he did The Green Mile, and he did Stand By Me.
That's The Green Mile is probably one of the most tear-inducing movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
I have to agree with you.
Yeah,
it really is heart-touching.
Shawshank Redemption's one of my favorites.
Cool. Shawshank Redemption is one of my all-time favorites as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but don't be they're all regressive, though.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker. Sorry, guys. It's just my webcam's being a dick. Balancing a webcam on a cooler is about the dumbest thing I've done today. Well, among other things, but that is how brilliant I am with Google Hangouts streams.
Hey, did anybody see Bearing's face reveal on his second channel, Patrick?
He did not look anything like he didn't look like anything I would have imagined him to look like. I thought he would have been some surfer dude, but it's like, nah. Like, he looks better than a lot of the male feminists, so. Like, one of them, Tato, and he shakes his jowls in a series he calls The Descent of Manosphere.
I think I'm better looking than Bearing.
Yeah, Bearing actually does look like a bear.
He
does.
I didn't even hear what Hunter said. Could you repeat that, Hunter?
He actually does. Bearing looks like a bear. He really does. Patrick looks just like a bear. He's got so much hair on his face. His eyebrows, his hair. He's a big burly type guy, you know. He definitely does look like a bear.
His video called Steve Shives reckoned he could beat the hell out of me. It's like, no, I think Bearing could easily take Steve Shives. Steve Shives,
living fuck out of you, yeah.
like it's like Steve. All Steve could do is like make a sissy, like lunge at him and maybe give him a little scratch on the face, and then Bearing could just beat his ass and leave him there. And also, it's like, I'm just gonna ask all of you a question. Do you think the concept of a male feminist? Do you think that's oxymoronic in any sense? I think it is.
Anti-feminist, like it's like people say, "Oh, you're against equal rights." No, we're not against equal rights. We're against forced equity. Is what we're against. We're against the kind of manipulation of the free market and for your crazed ideology. It's basically.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I've been dealing with Superwoman fans for a while now, and they're all being dickheads.
Jim's talking, and I can't hear anything he's saying.
I can't either.
Jim, we can't hear you.
Is your microphone all right?
Okay, this will take a while.
Superwoman fans.
Keep going. Sorry.
Superwoman fans. If you guys don't know, she made a video called "A Geography Class for Racists." Everyone and their mother has responded to her. Even I got quite a few likes from my response, and it was so easy to debunk. Like the typical talking points could be used by everyone and their mother to debunk what she was saying. Loudmouth commented on it, and I wanted to reply to him. Yeah, sub bots are very cheap, man, because he's like 11 million subs for a crappy video, and I'm like, yeah. I didn't know that sub bots were that cheap. And it was so funny because it's like, you know, she's like, YouTube comments are how you feel validated. And it's like, so yet you had to pick one comment that was clearly a fake comment and make an entire video about it. And then she just thinks white redneck Trump supporters are commenting on her videos, all this racist and slut shaming shit. And then it's like, yeah, who needs to feel validated to make an entire video off that shit? And it was also quite misandrist and racist.
Yeah.
I mean, she's hot, but she's stupid.
Yeah.
And that's being nice, you know. I mean, she could lay off the makeup a little bit. I mean, she was looking like a clown.
Really?
I still can't hear you, Jim. Andy, mute yourself. I don't know if you're louder than Jim.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
That lagged so bad. That lagged so bad.
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god, I'm in the thumbnail of the video of this live stream. I feel savage.
Yeah. Cool. So far away, we wait for the day, for the life song so wasted and gone. We feel the flame, time lost in the fires and flames. Through the fire and the flames we carry on.
That was fire.
Yeah, I love I love Dragon Force. Keep going.
Hey, Loudmouth, can you say anything?
Nope.
Let's see.
I got to end the stream then. All right, Jim. It was nice talking to you.
Okay,
really
nice talking to you, man. You're cool.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. See you later, Hunter.
Good seeing you all. God bless you all.
Well,
bye.
The dude abides.
Oh, I can somewhat hear you.